Alright everyone, welcome back to Camden's Creations. Today I'm going to show you how to make this awesome shocking glove. So here's what you will need. This is a electronic fly swatter, it says right there. You can find this at Harbor Freight. And if you have a Quickly Hardware nearby, we do. You can find it there too. This is only worth about $3 or $5. This is very cheap. So this is electronic, shocks with 3,000 volts, so this is very dangerous. Not enough to kill you, but easily can really hurt. Electrical tape, a 2 AA battery case, or AAA, I recommend AA. The reason why I'm using that, this takes 2D batteries, and they are the exact same voltage as this, but I can't fit that on a glove. A glove, of course, I recommend choosing, if you're left or right-handed, I recommend getting a glove for whatever, like if you're right-handed, get a glove for that. I'm right-handed, so I'm choosing a right-handed glove. Some wiring, and a hot glue gun you're going to need, and that is it. Okay, so the first step, you're actually just going to unscrew all these screw holes. There should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'll let you know when I'm done unscrewing those. Now I've unscrewed all the 5 screws. Now I'm just going to carefully take this off. This sticker is on here. It might stick a little bit. Okay, now I'm just going to lift this up. As you can see right here is this is the shocking board right here. Definitely pretty dangerous. I wouldn't really touch this. It should not have any juice in it. The press switch right here goes right there. And then yeah, it takes 2D batteries, which I'm not going to be using because it's too big. So there should just be one screw right here, and that is to get the main control board out of it. And just unscrew that. Now that should come undone. Now you should just be able to take this off here. I can get that. There we go. Okay, now what you're going to do is strip all these wires here with some scissors and cut it from the fly swatter. So I've done that. Here's what the back of it looks like. I've actually got an identical one here. I've bought another fly swatter and built a shocking glove. So that's what it looks like. So yeah, that's pretty cool there. So I'll be showing you what to do next. Now, you're going to be noticing on the fly swatter, there is 2 sides, and then plus a little thin metal one in the middle, so that's 3. That is why there are 3 cords. You're only going to need to use one of the yellow ones. It does not matter which one, and the red one. So you can cut off the other one. It really doesn't matter which one you use. I'm just going to cut off this one here. So I've got the 2 ones. You can actually make a taser out of this just by keeping everything in its casing, hooking up 2 screws, and using it the same way. Then you can just touch like a baking tray or something, and it'll shock it with a huge spark with 3,000 volts. So you can do that too. That's just a little idea. I've built that out of this one, then took it apart and built a new one. Built the shocking glove. So now you're just going to cut these wires here. The press switch wire, you're going to see one of them, and one of them is going to be hooking up to that right there, so you're going to want to cut that. And then the other one, the red wire, is going to be going all the way down there and hooking up to that, and then just cut that. So here it is. This is the one that went in there, so I've just taken out both of these right here. And then, so I have the other end of the press wire, which is going to hook up to one of the battery cases. And then this one is going to hook up. So we got both of our terminals there. And I'm just going to cut those and show you what's next. Okay, so I've got both of the wires stripped. So these are the two ones that are going to hook up to the battery. Then I've got the wires stripped here, which are the shocking wires. So now what you're going to do is just put the batteries in your battery case. If I can find it, here it is. Okay, I'll just show you that. Okay, now I have my batteries in. So like I said, it takes the 2 AA. Now what you're going to do is, there's a red indicator light right there. I don't really know if you see that right there. That is the indicator light that lets you know it's charging up. You hold the press switch for about like 3 seconds, and then you can touch those two wires together, and it will generate like 3,000 volts, and then make a huge blue spark. So that's what we're about to do. Do not touch any of this when you're doing it. Okay, so you can only hook this up one way with the battery, so I'm just going to show you that. Now, the way to test if this is working is by hooking them both up, and if it doesn't work the first time, then switch it around. And then, okay, see if I can just get this thing on there. Now hold it. Okay, it did not, the red light did not turn on. Now we're going to hook the battery, this thing up the other way now. If it works, then we did it. Okay, I just saw it lit up. Now we can actually just take this, because it should have some volts now. I don't know if you heard that or saw that, but that was a lot of volts there. Now that you know which way to wire it up, you're just going to wire it up that way. Okay, so as you can see here, I have got the wires wired up. So I just put the electrical tape around it because this is very conductive. So now I'm just going to go ahead and push the press switch, and right there are the two wires, the yellow and the red. And when I make contact with that with my pliers, which you definitely, especially if you have metal pliers, do not touch the metal when you're doing this. Just do the wire. And then if I can bend this over enough, just like that. Now I'm going to hold it, and the red light should turn on. Now, here we go. Very dangerous. I can just touch it. I can't touch it. I don't know if you saw that, but that was really loud. And I don't know if you saw the blue spark. Okay, here we go. I'm just going to do it again. I really can't see in the camera if it's actually getting it. Yeah, that is like ear-piercingly loud. This one's a bit, to me, this one's louder than the other one. So definitely very dangerous. Do not play around with this. So yeah, now that you got all that wired up, I suggest taking the batteries out, just that way you don't by accidentally shock yourself. Okay, a quick thing I forgot to note. After you charge this thing up, you don't have to hold it anymore, and this thing can still be holding the charge. So if you by actually touch it, it will seriously shock you super hard. So you do not have to be holding this down. Just about 3 seconds. And then you can just leave it there as long as you want, and it'll still have all that volts in it. So I would just say definitely be very careful. I'm not held responsible if this hurts you guys. Okay, so now you're going to take your glove and take the top part right here. I'm just going to lay this aside. Now you're going to glue your circuit board and your battery case to this. Okay, so I just set this on. I'm going to glue this. Just put a little glue there. I suggest only doing a line of hot glue. That way, the fabric can bend easier to fit around your hand. And then you're going to do the same thing with the battery case also. Just gonna hot glue that. Smoking, I can see smoke. Gonna do that. And then quick thing to note here, you may have noticed the button that you hold down came with this little piece to put it on. I'm actually just going to add a little dab of hot glue on the press switch and just glue that, because that's a bit easier to me to push it, and you're not going to shock yourself if something goes wrong. Ow, it's got burnt. Whoops. That is done. It should be looking like this. As you can see, the other one looks practically the same. I've got the press switch wired up and that. Everything looks practically the exact same. Now, what I did not do on this is it's best to cover all this up with electrical tape, but leave a little hole for the light. That way you can still see. But do not cover these wires up because we still need those. Okay, as you can see, I have covered this thing with the electrical tape. This one I probably should have because I've actually accidentally shocked myself before. It doesn't injure you, but it hurts really bad. So, if you have a wire this long, this is probably about 12 inches long, perfect, because you need to cut it in half. That'll be about 6 inches. It just needs to be long enough to reach from the wires right here, and then there, like the shocking wires, up to your thumb and the finger right next to your thumb. Those two. Or it can be the other one aside from your thumb. Just depends. Whatever fingers you want. I just would suggest your thumb than something else. Okay, as you can see, I got this thing covered with the electrical tape. I should have done that with this. I've shocked myself. It cannot injure you, but it hurts you really, really bad. So you're gonna want two wires about this long. These are about 6 inches long each. They need to be just long enough to reach from the wires right here and here, the shocking ones, to your thumb and the second finger across from your thumb. You just need it long enough to do that. Okay, so as you can see, I've got these wired up now. I just put a bunch of electrical tape. You're going to want a lot on, especially on that, because if they make contact, they could short circuit and maybe could either explode the circuit or either make it catch on fire. Definitely very dangerous. Make sure you put a lot on that. So I've got the both ends of the wire. Like I said, you just need to make sure they're long enough to reach to the end on your thumb, and I usually would like to do it on, yeah, there's the thumb, and I would like to do it on that finger, so thumb, which is over here, and then the other one, which is there. Okay, so here's the glove. As you can see, this is flipped over right now. I have gotten both of the wires. I had to make one of them a little longer. You might want to make one of them longer than the other. Just that much longer, not much. So I added this one to the thumb and this one to this finger right here. And then you just can clench together or close together, and then boom. It is totally safe to do that because you're wearing a glove. I was thinking about making this out of cardboard, but that would be absolutely really dangerous. Just make sure if you're going to grab something metal like a baking tray, make sure that the rest of your body is not touching it in any way because it will shock you or anyone else is touching that. So yeah, it should work. Let's give it a test. Okay, so here we go. I have the glove on. I'm just going to push the button and the LED just turned on. Now I can clench it together, and I covered it up by accident. I can just get my fingers out of the way. I can show you. Let me try that again. I don't know if you saw that, but it's not shocking me, so it is safe. Definitely actually looks pretty nice. So that it is done now. So yeah. I'll do a little thing here of me touching this baking tray. I didn't do it. Anyway, so yeah. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.